I sold 20 cents above this high here, betting that the first reversal up, even as strong as it is probably minor. Um, and we'd have to get a lower high first and maybe go sideways before breaking significantly above the high. So maybe break out here, pull back to a higher low, and then get the move up. So I'm thinking that we do have to pull back, and I think a reasonable target is this high here. So selling 20 cents above that I think is a reasonable thing to do. But this is also strong enough up that there are probably buyers below as well. So probably buyers somewhere in here and probably sellers up here. Although I think my entry was decent, it looks like the better entry was up here. So still selling high, thinking that we're not going to go straight up, but selling at this high instead. Looks like that was the best option so far, because that already went down for a 20 cent scalp, and the risk would be lower. So my 20 cents was arbitrary. It was based on the target that we'd fall back down here, but this entry would have been based on an actual structure. So that might be the best thing to do in this kind of situation. So if this trade doesn't end up working out, the two main things I'll have to look into are selling at this high instead, because it's actually a level of resistance. And the second one being, if I do sell here, where I did, what would need to happen in this rally to make me want to get out break even? Because the market has already given me two opportunities to get out break even on this bar and this bar, but I chose not to take them because I think we're still going to close the gap and get below this high. So I chose not to get out, but it may be the case that when you get a rally like this, however this is 3 consecutive bull bars, or no significant bear bodies yet, if that happens, then maybe it's best to get out break even. So those are two major things that I'll look at for this trade to see how I can adjust and trade this better. All right, got stopped out there. I think I lost $4, 382. Yeah, I mentioned the two things that I'm gonna look into. So I'll have to see what I can do better for this kind of setup. I still think that this was a reasonable trade to take, but I think there could be some improvements in terms of selling at a different level and getting out break even when necessary. So not a great way to start the day, but I'll look for something else and see if I can make some of that back. All right, I sold the high of this bar here, betting that this is a final flag, weak breakout with tails on top, and then a buy signal but a bear bar, so sold above it, betting that we have to close this gap here with this tight trading range. I'm going for a little bit more than 20 cents. I'm going for 30 cents because I think the gap is going to close, but I think 20 cents is safe, and I might be just going for 30 cents because I'm trying to make back a lot of the loss, my initial loss. So I don't want to be too greedy. I probably should go for 20 cents, but I'm going for 30. Okay, I will go for the 20 cents now. I was thinking that we drop quickly on the next bar, and then I would take the 30 cents, but we didn't quite get there. So now looking for 20 cents, and I'll also move my stop to break even because we got to 3 cents away, so I wouldn't want it to bounce back up to my entry. Okay, it got filled, so I made $2 on that. So back to 182. I thought that was reasonable. I think we're gonna close the gap, but I also think that it was strange that we didn't close this gap here. So we might still get there maybe later in the day. But I do think that this was a gap that shouldn't have been left open, especially in a trading range day and high in a trading range. I'm willing to buy this low. I just got out, so I ended up going for 10 cents instead of 20. Now 95 cents down on the day. Could have been a pretty good day just from these two trades. if I didn't lose the first one. So it could have been up about $3. I just bought above this bull signal. It's a tough buy because this bar is so big, but it's a second entry buy, and we got down to this target that I thought we needed to get to. So we closed this gap here and then bounced up off of it. So I think it's a reasonable buy. What makes it difficult is how aggressive this bear bar is. So it's a really big bear bar, which is why I'm using a slightly wider stop, just in case we need to get a small second leg down from it and then reverse up, just giving it a little bit of room. But I think there's a decent chance that it could go up to test the highs. And obviously I'll monitor it to see if we're getting bad follow through. Then I'll be a bit more aggressive taking profits. Got my order to exit below the bear bar, but I also moved my target down to try to take a smaller loss if it bounces first. Okay, exited there. So I took $1 loss. Instead of, had I been stopped out down here, it would have been a $3 loss. So I was happy to get out with a smaller loss after this bear bar. It could still reverse up, but this is not the kind of follow through bar I want to see. So I was happy to take, it was just a 10-cent loss, but because I traded 10 shares, it ended up being a $1 loss. So I'm okay with what happened here. I thought this was a tough buy because of the size of the bear bar, but I also thought it was worth taking a chance. I bought again after seeing this bar close on its high as a second entry buy. So we'll see if this one is the one that goes. So if we get a bear body now, that would be a second entry sell. So up 1, pull back 2. So I'd exit below the bear bar if we get one. Otherwise, I have an order up here to sell just part. Okay, bull body, so I don't think it's worth exiting. I did move my order down, so I'll scalp out half at 50 cents, half at 20 cents. 4 consecutive bull bars now, so still no reason to exit, and I think that increases the chances that we'll go higher. Oh, I meant to sell 5 shares there, not just 3. Okay, so now I'm out of 5 shares. Stop still down here. 4 consecutive bull bars, so I think we're going a little bit higher. I'm gonna exit the rest below this bear bar. It's 4 consecutive bull bars and a small bear signal, so it's not very bearish. But after the bear body, I prefer to be out. Okay, got out. Might be buyer somewhere below, but I don't want to take the chance. So now at 52 cents, down 52 cents for the day. It was still on the swing from my initial trade, from my initial buy here. Had I kept the same stop, I wouldn't have taken the $1 loss, and we'd still be on that swing. So I took an unnecessary $1 loss, but I think it was okay because I didn't want to see this bear bar. But then when we saw this bar close on its high, it was a second entry buy. So I'm okay with exiting and waiting for this bar to close. And once I see the strength on the bar, I can re-enter, which is what I did. I think that's okay. Yeah, this is tough. If this was a doji and didn't close on its low, I would have stayed in. I made a mistake. I don't remember exactly where it was, but I was a little bit too aggressive on my exit. Yeah, here. So here I bought above this bar, and then we got this bear bar with the tail on the bottom, and I still exited below it, and we went up for the rest of the day, almost like 20 bars in a tight channel. So I didn't want the same thing to happen today, and I was gonna, because of what happened in that last trade, I was gonna leave it and be a little bit more lenient with it. But after this bar closed on its low, I decided to exit because that other example had a tail on the bottom. I have an order to buy below this bar, 2-bar breakout, and bad sell signal, so I think we have to get at least a small second leg up. I have my order 21 cents below the high close, so I can get out a cent below the high close. I'm long 10 shares, looking for 20 cents. There's a chance that this is a type of climax. We have 3 pushes up and we have a big 2-bar breakout, but I just think that this trading range here was big enough to make it not climactic, so I think we should get a second leg up. We're hesitating at 10 cents up, so I'm gonna get out with 10 cents if possible. I think my target was reasonable, but we were going sideways here for a while, so I decided to just take 10 cents. So up 50 cents on the day now.